Any other day, maybe before the class or Monday, if you're on a campus, she's right there. So I don't know if you're daytime students or just come here for the evening. No? Any preference? Any day before class? Any day before class or Monday or something like that, if you're here. Yeah, I know most of the students in the evening like that. I understand that. Yeah, that's why. But online you could do everything or not really? Online. Yeah. So 1 hour online and 1 hour in person. Oh. Okay. And we also will learn about как вас зовут. So как вас зовут? Меня зовут. Okay. So меня зовут Лена. Как вас зовут? Меня. Очень приятно, Мишель. Как вас зовут?
Меня зовут Елена.
Очень приятно, Лена. Okay, and again we talked about the last time arrangement, syllabus, some exercise. I could give you some extra. Last couple of syllabus over there. Okay, any more question about homework, textbook, anything? Arrangement? No? What you did at home? Listening exercise, did you find everything? Okay, good. Canvas, video, did you watch the video? Yeah, what did you find out about that? First of all, did you learn anything from that? Oh, it's not quite, this one. What do you think about letters or anything, how they present it? You like it, dislike it? Or what?
I wish they had the words that she was saying.
Okay, yeah. That's why I put it before the class. Okay, in English and French, whatever it is, so I put it before the class. So you could get like visual things. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. But anybody learn something? Did it help you visualize a little bit some letters? And again, people who don't have a book, I put a link, languageguide.org, and you could get the alphabet there with pronunciation, with the words, with the spelling words in Russian, with the stress and everything, and more of in that, in that link. But that first one is alphabet, and you could click on the first link, and it will be the whole alphabet with examples, pronunciation. Okay, what else can you say about that video? What did you learn about Russian history, figures, art, science? Anybody? You? Facts?
The representation of the lake that was biggest.
Which is a representation?
Yeah.
Oh, Baikal, yeah. That's famous lake. So where is that lake, Baikal? Siberia. Yes. Siberia? Okay. That's true. Okay, Siberia. Okay, anything else?
I watched the video and I just saw a bunch of images that I didn't understand what I was looking at. So I didn't learn anything because there was no context for it. I was like, oh, okay, what am I looking at? Like,
Well, they just use like letters and what start with that letter or what consists that letter. But yeah, it's not exactly accurate. Well, that's why I asked your opinion. Yeah. And this is one of the things they didn't put it in Russian.
But I had no idea that like you said that was the largest lake or whatever. Like I didn't know that. The video didn't tell me that. It was like
that's why we're talking here. So it's the biggest lake in Europe. It's the deepest one, a very beautiful one. Okay, this is a lake in Siberia, southern part of Siberia. Okay, so the letter P, right? You know how this. Now you know the letter. Baikal. Right. Anything else about Russian history? If anybody interested in literature, history, anything else you recognize or learn or discovered? Sarah? Yeah? Sarah?
I didn't watch it yet.
Didn't watch
I'll
it.
watch it when I go home tonight.
Okay. Did you, whoever watched that, did you like the presentation or dislike it? Why you like it?
I don't know, like different. And then it seemed like it was the opening ceremony for the Olympics.
Olympics,
Then
yes.
I was like wishing it was longer to watch the rest of it.
Wishing what?
I wish the video was longer. They just like stopped it when they showed the stadium. And that was
Well, I didn't want to burden you with something extra. It's only 5 minutes. What you have to study, but this is so. Okay, David? So, you said you watched it.
Yeah.
Do you like it, dislike it, why?
I thought, like you said, I thought it was a little too short. And from what I showed it, I kind of watched it with my coworker, and he kind of helped me along with it. And he was the one that was kind of history. So
Okay, good.
history.
So that's
So it was pretty interesting.
That's how you knew what the lake was?
Yeah, he kind of mentioned, and I did some research on it. It was pretty interesting.
anybody else watch it? Luke?
No, I didn't. I was on language.org though.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So you find that alphabet. You?
I liked it. Yeah, I thought it was really pretty.
Okay.
And I thought that it was helpful. Like the person pronouncing the letters was saying it really clearly, and so that was nice to hear the letters again.
All right. Well, watch the rest of the things and you see if you have any question about some figures or historic things or like, dislike, and why. There's both sides. Advantage, disadvantage, presentation, why, and okay, this is not must, but okay. Right, let's get back to the subject then. If not everybody watched it. Okay, so, anybody else want to add anything to that? No? Jaime? You saw, you watched it, right? Anything?
Yes, I did. I have a question.
Yeah.
I saw this name. They pronounce it with
Sikorsky.
E. Okay.
Uh-huh. So it's вертолет, helicopter of Sikorsky. Yeah, it's a pretty well-known scientist. So they talk about mergers, they're talking about czars, they're talking about writers, a lot of things. Any name you recognize over there? Okay. Catherine the Great, right? So it's about Russian history. Екатерина II. Gzhel or Chachlama, it's a type of, when they're talking about like art in Russia,
Okay.
right? Well, maybe they talk about art, and that's one of their village around the central part of Russia, where they produce a lot of folk things like clothes and wooden dishes or ceramic things or whatever. It's one of their famous ones outside of Russia. Great. Hey, any other one? All right. Let's start with their letters then. Okay. And who else came? Tell me. Remind me your name.
Manuel?
Manuel. Okay, Manuel.
Thank you.
Okay, хорошо. Окей, какая, let's do it like this way. Какая это буква? There. Okay, хорошо. Right, everybody see that? Какая это буква? Okay. Какая это буква? Какая это буква? S. Ага, хорошо. Right? Какая это буква? Z. Okay. Какая это буква? Okay. Какая это буква? Everybody remember, right? Not to confuse B and Z. Ага. Какая это буква? Z. Okay. Какая это буква? You see, it's written sometimes like that. Just be aware, even if it's block letters, it's sometimes like an italic version. It's written similar.
That could be capital and like lower or
It's usually low.
lower
Yes.
upper.
Is that like the cursive?
Not quite, but that's why I said pay attention. It's similar, but a little curved like 6, but could be written like that with a lower case. Какая это буква?
Ch.
Okay. Какая... Oops. Какая это буква? Your favorite one. One more time? Okay. Какая это буква? Это буква? Yeah. Yeah. Краткая? Yeah. Pronunciation is fine, just you don't have to name the letter yet, because you need to read, right? Какая это буква? Какая это буква? Какая это буква? Right. Yeah. You see, the way you could memorize is like open mouth and your tongue in the middle. So like open Какая это буква? Какая это буква? Louder? Okay. Какая это буква? Какая это буква? Soft sign. No pronunciation, but it's soft sign, and we'll talk a lot about that. What about this one? Hard sign. Какая это буква? Какая это буква? Remember, in English you have who knows how many letters for this one, right? 2, 3, 4, and they're not consistent. And then in combination pressures, only that you memorize always. You hear it, you apply. You see it, you hear it, you write it. Какая это буква? Какая это буква? Like soft, right? Right? So you see it's a little pain, right? Okay. Какая это буква? No. Actually, it could be capitalized. I don't know why they didn't put it here. И краткая two, soft sign, and ui, and hard sign never. Any other one could be. How often do they put it? Какая это буква?
Yeah.
Yeah. Какая это буква? Какая это буква? Р. Can you say it again? Good. One more time. Okay, good. Какая это буква? Это? Это? L, right? So when you write, you see straight, it's this one. L. Well, we had it.
Okay.
And let's do this one. Okay, tell me how many people have a textbook. We could do something in the textbook, or we could do extra one. Well, let's start to have that what I gave you, since I already gave you a handout. And we try to read a little bit here. Do you need more? Yeah. Would you need it? How do you bring it? Can you pass it around? There should be some extra.
Yeah, I got some.
Is it the one you passed out to us?
Yeah. I just passed it since you were here. Okay, so name of the month. Can you arrange this? You probably could figure out what it is, right? Can you arrange it in, put them in the right order? Okay? And tell me what months come first in the year. По-русски, in Russian.
Water.
Okay, let's do, who is that? Okay. Manuel, you want to do that? Or who started? Somebody, oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, what's the first one?
Yanvar.
Yeah, except январь, right? Soft one, январь.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, second one. Uh-huh.
Oh, on the
Январь. What's the next one? What do you think? Февраль. Okay. The third one. Март. Okay. Fourth one. Actually, they don't have it. Whatever, what's come, they just skip it for some reason. Yeah, I don't see that up here. Okay, what's next one? Okay, somebody else. Keep, you want to do that like May? What's a May? Mai. Right, Mai. Okay, and do they have a next one? They don't have a June. What about July? You see July. Right? As you see, a lot of them have a soft sign, right? Except one. Januari, February, right? April, June, okay? And August we don't have. What about after? Yes, I do, actually. How to say August? Okay, August. Хорошо. And next one? Lauren, September?
Сентябрь.
Сентябрь, отлично. Okay, сентябрь. They don't have October. What about November? Okay, хорошо. Okay. Michelle, right? Ноябрь. And then who's the next one? What is it? December. Right. So a lot of them with the stress mark. Okay, now I don't want you to pronounce this, but in the number 2, here's some ads for the programs shows in different channels in Russia. TV Russia. Okay. The TV guy called TV Park, right? So they show a lot of Americans, so they used to show American movies. Russia, well, they still do. Yeah. So look at them and see if you could recognize some of them and what category it would go in. Sport, drama, or whatever. Not necessarily movies, but programs, right? So what is that? Is it a sport program, music program? Is it a drama, cartoon, series? Anything. First one. What do you think? Music. Okay, so music, right? Everybody, Tchaikovsky, right? Okay, next one. What do you think of that? Don't even read it, but see if you could figure it out.
What's the 4th letter? I can't even tell what that is. Is that a sh?
Sure. Yeah, sorry for the print.
And then
That's why I wanted to go in the
the
textbook.
4th letter of the second word, is that a p?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay.
Well, so Tchaikovsky, music, right? So it could be music program, or it could be movie or whatever, right? And then волшебная лампа Аладдина. What is that, do you think? Exactly. So what is that? Cartoon, right? Okay, can you guess what's the next one?
No, the Aladdin one. I don't know what Santa Barbara is.
Yes, exactly. You find out. Santa Barbara. What is it?
Drama.
Yes. Okay. And can you guess what's the next one? What's dome? Anybody know? House or? And the second word you might figure it out from what you heard about it. What is that? Anybody know what's Romanovy?
Romanov family.
Right. And who are there? Those Romanovs family. Tsars, right? For many, many centuries of Tsars and Romanov. Yeah, probably serious drama, historic. All right, good. Next one. Who likes Russian literature? Anna Karenina. Okay, what is that? Drama. Okay. And you probably could figure out the next one. Exactly. Right. Exactly. What is that? Music, right. Иисус Христос, суперзвезда. Okay. What about next one? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Улицы, what? What do you think it could be? Улицы, это Фрида Калло, это улица.
Oh.
Right. And next one. Daisy? Pinocchio. So what is that?
Cartoon.
It's a Disney Pinocchio, right? So it's cartoon or children or something. Okay. Anybody? Okay. Ken? Guess what is that?
No.
Okay. Good guess over there.
Cannot be sport.
Oh, Wilson? What do you think is it?
The word.
Okay, what is that?
I think it's sport.
Sport. Why?
'Cause it's
Hockey, right? So hockey, championat, etc. Right? Okay. Next one. Perhaps somebody new? Uh-huh. Dr. Zhivago. And what is that? In Russia it is serious. Here I think it's a famous Hollywood movie. It's a drama.
Oh, they're probably making.
Yeah, yeah. Very. Okay. Next one. Okay. What is that?
Music.
Those three.
Right. So music. Okay, and the last one? Anybody could guess that? Второе рождение, Mickey Mouse, second birth of Mickey Mouse or something like that. Okay. Okay. One more thing and then we go to our book, and if you don't have it, I guess you could share with your classmates. Look at that 3 ads silently for a couple of minutes and tell me what you find out, what it is about. First, second, and third. No. No. Or is it? Carol, do you have any problem to register? Because I didn't see you.
I did have a problem. I need to do an ad class.
That's what, you have to do that.
I
And that's what a couple of people, they put themselves, and I added them last
so
time.
you can do it online, okay.
Yeah, that's it. We have only like 20, officially less than 20 students, not officially even less. And so you could just add the class.
I couldn't
But
do
you
it
have
on
to
my
do it through the
phone.
ad.
I couldn't do it on my phone. I couldn't do it on my old iPad, so I'll
Try
have
to
to
do
use
it not on the phone. Try to do it.
I did try to do it. I've got another computer I can try it on.
Because you have to do it, I think, by today.
I can try to help you during the break.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Great.
It's sometimes, it could be trouble with the
browser?
phone.
Yeah.
Could be. But maybe not, if you could do it.
I did it on my phone. I registered on my phone.
Okay.
Great.
The thing is, you registered and it's time. I believe you can.
It's not the
go
same
through
process?
the registered process, you have to add the class. I'm not
Oh.
sure. Try to do it both. If it works, works. I don't know.
Okay.
Right.
We can look at it.
Right. Tell me what you find out. If you find out. Do you need more time? 1 more minute? Okay. I don't want you to read out loud. It's just, comprehension. Then we could read after that. Ready? Okay, let's do it. So what's the first one is about? What kind of plan? What do you think?
A tour around San Francisco.
Exactly. So excursion tour in San Francisco and GCC. Okay. How do they do it? By walk?
By bus.
Right. And when that event takes place?
March 3rd.
March 3rd. Okay, good. Okay. And anything else you find out? Prices?
Children, adults.
Exactly. So basically, that's all you need to know. And what language that excursion? Russian, на русском языке. Okay, what's the second one is about? Trips. Exactly. So the second one is travel agents. Okay. And what kind of tours over there? By bus in the United States? Where and how? Okay, where? Okay, Moskva, Kiev, where else?
Riga.
Riga.
St. Petersburg.
Mhm. Yes. And where else? Moskva, Kiev, Riga,
There's probably,
Minsk. Okay, so first of all, a trip to, Russia and Ukraine and Belarus, all of this madness started. But, where else they have it? It's probably by plane, right? So where else they have trips?
Is it in Mexican Riviera?
Exactly. So they offer far away and close by, so Mexican Riviera. Exactly. And what do you think, how they go over there? By what transportation? Easy, exactly. So they have, boats in the Mexican Riviera, right? And, okay. Where else? Where else they have cruises? Mexican Riviera, what else? Okay, by plane in Russia, Riga, Latvia, Litva, Belarus, etc. Right? So by boat, Mexican Riviera. And how do they go in the Mexican Riviera? What else did you see that one? In the same line. Huh? It was cruise. Right? By boat, right? Cruise.
Where does it say that?
Right after the first one, it says big word. Special, special. Right before that, what did they say?
Oh, there.
Cruisy, right? So one of the cruises in Mexicanska Riviera. What other one? What other cruises they offer? Uh-huh.
Caribbean.
Exactly. So through the Caribbean, Mexican Riviera.
Oh.
Where else they offer besides that one? Caribbean, Mexican Riviera, well, through the Caribbean Sea. Where else?
Jamaica.
Exactly. And how do you say Jamaica in Russia? Jamaica. So Jamaica, San Francisco, and how do they go? One more word you might recognize. The same line.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Anyway, yes, I heard this. What? Panama Canal. Yeah, through the Panama Canal. Okay. Okay, so they have two cruises, right? So Jamaica through the Panama Channel, Mexican Riviera in the Caribbean, and anything else you could see in that cruises? Those two. How many days? How much time? 8 nights. Good. And what about Jamaica? Jamaica. What is that? 8 портов. Can you guess what is that? Where do they stop? How do you know if they stop or not? Do they go directly from San Francisco to Jamaica?
Tel Aviv.
Oh, hold on. Let's talk about San Francisco, Jamaica. Do they stop anywhere, and how do you know if they stop anywhere? But you could see a little clue. Eight what? It's a word you could cognate. Read it, and you could cognate it. Okay, I'll write it down. Maybe it's not clear. What that word means?
Oh, port.
Port. What's port?
Boat.
Port? Port?
8 what?
Stops?
8 stops in the different places. 8 ports, whatever they. Okay. So you know that. Okay, what else about that? Yes, it's Tel Aviv. Good. And one more. So they have two boat trips, one plane trips. Well, two plane trips, Tel Aviv and Moskva, Kiev, Riga, Minsk, etc. And one more.
Oh, does that say Honolulu?
Yes. Honolulu. And what else? What other places? Honolulu.
Hawaii.
Yes. And how do you say Hawaii in Russian?
Hawaii.
Hawaii. And where is in Hawaii? Honolulu. What else? Maui. Right. So, Honolulu, Maui, Hawaii. Okay. And whom you would who would you talk if you want to talk with a person? You don't want to do it online. You want to talk with a person. Who would you talk? Sima, exactly. Okay.
Is that the name?
Yeah, it's a name. All right, and the last one, what it is about?
Oh, it's a new restaurant that's opened.
Good. So,
Russian and American.
good. So, новый ресторан, русская американская кухня. Okay. Anything else you could find out about that? If not, it's good enough. But you could add something else. Good. So ribne, vegetarian, meat and fish and everything. And when do they open? From 9 till 10. Is it every day? Not every. 7 days a week.
Why? Why is there a 9 also?
From 9 till 10.
It wasn't 7? Wait, I'm
7 days a week.
Oh.
Okay. Well, this is extra. Anybody could guess what's, you know, word dom, right? House, right? Dom Romanovых. What's обеды на дом? What do you think here means? You know word dom, right? So what's обеды на дом? What do you think it could be to do with the restaurant, with the food and anything?
Maybe just like home.
They deliver?
Deliver. Yeah, deliver at home. Yeah, deliver at home. All right, good enough. Okay, try to open your textbook on page 3. Okay, you have a book. Maybe some people would share the book if you have, like Caitlin. Oh, Caitlin, you have this version, right? Can you?
I don't have a book yet.
Can you share, Caitlin, can you share that? And maybe you would share the book too, right?
Yeah. All right.
I can get a registration code from you.
I don't need it, you don't need any code. No,
It's just like,
we could try to do it in a break. So you have a book? You have a book? Okay, good. Do you have electronic version? Maybe you could just go the key. Yeah, if you want. Is it okay? Can you sit like this? No, it's okay, it's okay. Yeah, I know how it is. Sorry for that. Yeah, I remember that one. I have to teach him that one. In 3 places. One It is hard. Okay, so this is what I ask you to read at home, like about letters and practicing and reading. We'll do a little bit here, what you did already at home. And on page 3, so words you knew all along, each words are under, illustrated. So can you read the capture under the picture, please? And page 3. That's why I said the book is easier than the get electronic version,
Actually,
because I don't know if they
easier.
have
I
pages.
just click on, I just
Okay.
go to page 3. Wait, so what are we doing now on page 3?
Just reading first. Let's try to read what it says. Okay. Look, you want to try? Start it. And lazy and then whatever. The first line.
First line.
Yeah, let's do
Maska,
that. Maska.
mama, masa,
Uh-huh.
tost.
Okay. Second line, Daisy.
Кот,
Mm-hmm.
космос, атом.
Okay, отлично. Any questions about any of this understanding?
What is massa? I don't understand the picture.
What do you think massa means?
Gas?
No. Mass.
Oh, mass. 25 kilograms.
It says 25 kilograms, right?
I
It's rather weight than mass, but still. Right. Okay. Let's go on to page 7 right away. Okay. And let's try to look on the top of the page and read города в США. Anybody could guess what's города в США? What's США abbreviation? Do you think you could get it, what it is? What, right on the page 7, on the top, they say города США. Anybody could guess what's города and what's США? Based on what they gave you. What's США?
Uh,
Yes, cities, where?
the
США.
USA.
USA, exactly, that's abbreviation. So cities like голоса, города, город, голос, right? So we already know a little bit there. Okay, so what's города в США, вы знаете? Can you read this too? Let's do the next person, Lina. Lauren, Lali, okay,
Oh,
Lauren.
sorry.
Uh-huh.
Taking notes. I'm reading the first word in that section.
First two, yeah. Uh-huh.
First two, okay. Cincinnati,
Хорошо, okay, keep going.
San Francisco. I recognize
San
that.
Francisco.
Yeah.
Watch out that San Francisco spelled with a C, right? San Francisco. And usually we say San Antonio, San Diego, San Francisco is hyphenated, right? Okay. So Cincinnati, San Francisco. Okay, and the other two. Yeah? Can you try that? Chicago. And what's about up beneath Chicago? Okay. Kelsey, you want to try?
Washington.
Except the stress.
Washington.
Вашингтон. Окей, хорошо. Окей, города в России. Or whatever, the места в России, it's not города. Okay, в России. Okay. So what can you see over there? Let's see. Hitler? Try that? Okay, who wants to do that? David? What's the first location in Russia? Россия. So Россия, first two. Was it Chor? That's correct. Chor. Finish this word. Chor. No. And what's the last letter? It's not E. It's what letter is that? Yeah. So put it all together. Черное. And the next one? Море. Okay, Черное море. Okay. Anybody know what's Черное море? Black Sea. Okay. All right, Sarah? What's the next one? Beneath it. Сочи. Это город на Кавказе. City in the Caucasus of Russia. Sochi. Southern part of Russia. Sochi. And next one. Anybody want to try? Okay, пожалуйста.
We come, oh,
Uh-huh.
Kamchatka.
Kamchatka. Anybody knows Kamchatka?
It's the peninsula on East Russia,
Right.
By
Far
Alaska.
East. Yeah, Far
the
East.
Alaska side, yeah.
With Japan, Alaska. And this is a hard one. Anybody wants to challenge? Try that one. Pla, o,
Yes.
ve, chems. Okay, let's do the simpler words. Okay, let's do. What do you think that they give you the pictures and the title for the pictures, and it says вещи. For example, это ручка, тетрадь, вода, это вещи. What do you think what's вещи?
Nouns or objects?
Things, exactly, things. So that's where the she comes from. Вещи. Okay, so какие здесь вещи? What's the first one? How do you say car? Okay. Anybody here? Want to try?
Machina?
Машина. Okay. Next one. Except the stress. Шоколад. Okay. Next one. Punch. Okay. Daisy? Плащ. Okay, хорошо. So как по-английски матч? Как по-английски матч?
Game
Right.
or match.
Okay. Как по-английски машина? Car. Как по-английски шоколад? Chocolate. Как по-английски маска? Mask. Как по-английски мама? Как по-английски кот? Как по-английски космос? Well, космос. Space. Space. Как по-английски плащ? Can you guess? Плащ. No.
Coat.
It's called raincoat. Raincoat, yeah. It's like a coat, but raincoat. So плащ is a raincoat. Как по-английски шоколад?
Hello.
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Okay, хорошо. And again, кот.
Cat.
Cat. Море. И Черное море.
Black Sea.
США. США.
United States.
Россия.
Russia.
Russia.
Okay, so. So, что это? You could tell me. Что это?
Машина.
Машина. Что это?
Шоколад.
Шоколад. Что это? Плащ. Okay. Now, кто это? Кто это? Okay, you know, что это? Кто это? Кто это? The first one. And let's do the picture of the people. Just do the last name only, right? Last name, it's okay. The famous people in Russia, writers and this one. Кто это?
Чехов.
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 Чехов. И кто он? Кто он? Anybody know кто он? You could get it from here or from yourself. Okay, after drama, right? Или писатель, right? Russian writer. Okay. Anybody read anything by Chekhov? So what kind of writer he is? Why it says drama? What kind of writer he is? Huh?
Playwright.
Playwright, right? So that's why after drama, so he's a playwright, a famous playwright. He wrote a lot of stories too, but well known in the world like a playwright, right? So all of his plays in the edge of the century, end of the 19th century, right? Beginning of the 20th, but he really belongs to the 20th century. Influence on Ibsen and many other, Albee, American playwright, and many others. So Chekhov, okay, and here's more. Кто это? So what's кто это? Who is this? Who is that? So what's the difference between the construction in English? What is this? Who is this? And in Russian one? Can you tell me? Grammatically speaking.
There's no.
What's the difference between construction in English and in Russian? Grammatically speaking, very simple one. You don't have to be anything, just children in order to see the difference. What's the difference between кто это and in English, who is this? No auxiliary. So how many words in English?
It's who, yeah, that's me.
In English
Yeah,
it's
that.
what? 3, right? In Russian? Yeah, very nice, compact, shortly. Not always, it's a joke. But anyway, so we don't have auxiliary verb to be in a present tense. Okay? So это would stand like this is, who is this, what is this is, this are, whatever it is. We don't have auxiliary helping verb to be in present tense like in English. Right? Am, is, are, etc. Right? So just кто это? Это Chekhov. Okay? It's the same thing with the, if you want, что. When you ask me if it's always phonetical, yes, almost always. But there's a couple nuances, like the word что, spelled with a ЧТО, but we pronounce like что. We pronounce like что. However, it depends on the region in Russia, but this is considered like literary norm, что это. And in some regions, people tend to be between che and she, or even close to che, but it's very, you won't hear it, let's see, generally in the street. Never in a theater, never in a TV, never in a radio or things like that, never in the schools. Что is a norm, but it's spelled like che. For example, что это? Это куртка. Что это? Это учебник. Что это? Это очки. Кто это? Это студент. Кто это? Это студентка. Кто это? Это профессор. Что это? Это лампа. Also, intonation in a Russian sentence just watch out, the intonation in a Russian sentence tend to be falling toward the end of the sentence, distinct from the English one. So in Russian, it's general trend to fall down. In an interrogative sentence, in other words, in a question, it sharply goes down. If the sentence is a little bit longer, you could hear it better. The short is a little bit harder. So it goes up in a question word like in English, or second or third or whatever you emphasize. Is this your brother? Is this your brother? Right? It's the same thing in Russian, but in English, are you going to the store today? In Russian, ты идешь сегодня в магазин? And that's how we distinguish this question from the statement. Statement slightly, the question has really go down in the end, sharply. Что это? Что это? In this case, I know a lot of kids who grew up here. Some not, of course, but a lot of them who are Russian children, they study, they speak Russian in a family, but they imitate the American accent sometimes. Or let's say, not accent, intonation. Because sometimes they don't even have accent, they speak well and everything. But intonation, often, not always, they do. And the parents tell me, why are you whining? Because they say, we идем сегодня в кино, why are you whining? So that's what I heard from the parents. Vice versa, I heard that children complain and the parents talking with each other kind of like nasty way. But it's just intonation difference. They're not nasty, I say kind of down or whatever, but it's just different. Okay, so just bear it in mind. Right. Кто это? What's the next one? Кто это? Okay, this is, what's the next picture? Anybody know? Это?
Это Достоевский.
Окей, это Достоевский. И кто он? Кто он? Yeah, who is he?
Это автор романа.
Hey,
Quick
so
question.
he's a,
Actor Romana is like playwright, but it's not play. He's a writer. But what is
author. Can anybody could guess what's author?
Oh, Arthur.
Author.
Oh, author. Okay.
Author of the novel, this one. Okay, so he's a writer, right? Famous writer. Anybody read anything by Dostoevsky? So he's a novelist, right? That's why it's Ramana. Anybody read anything by Dostoevsky? Okay. Brothers Karamazov, Братья Karamazovы, a famous one. Crime and Punishment. Translated in English. Story. Okay, кто это? What's the third one? Kalantay. И кто она? Can you figure out who is
Yeah, it's a
he?
diplomat.
Diplomat. Yeah, she's the first diplomat in 1920s after revolution, when the Soviet Union was established. She was the first diplomat in 1920s and represent Soviet Union. At the diplomat, turn the page and let's see a few other well-known figures. Okay, кто это? And the top one. Кто это? Это Троцкий. И, who is he?
US agent and revolutionary.
Right. That's what they say, революционер, right? Yeah, he's like was a Lenin. First was they were together, then he was exiled and prosecuted. Anybody know where he was exiled and what happened?
Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico. So those three live together, right? Together, Riviera, Frida Kahlo, and Trotsky. Literary and not literary. Okay. So Trotsky, very famous revolution. Then he was killed over there. Okay, кто это? Anybody know who is this? Okay, Lev Tolstoy. И who is he? Author, right? After Ramana and his famous writer. Anybody, what kind of novel they mention here? Война и мир. What's Война и мир? War and Peace. You remember? Good. Okay, so. And кто это? Next one. Горбачев. И кто он? Who is he?
He's the last president of the USSR. Well, the last secretary.
Yes.
General.
That's right, General Secretary of USSR. What he's famous for? Президент СССР, right? What he's famous for? Anybody know?
Perestroika.
Perestroika, right? So it's basically he was started to change things, a lot of opening, a lot of those things started to publish. Political prisoner were outside of Russia, and then after him, Soviet Union fell apart. Okay, and with кто это? Next line. Кто это? Give me the whole full sentence. This is. Okay, how do you say Sarah? This is the only word you need to know. And reading это, right? Это. Пугачева. Это Пугачева. И кто она? Anybody knows her? Anybody else? Yeah, who is кто она?
Она певица.
Певица. Поп-звезда, right? Yeah, this Pevitsa is very well known from 70s, 80s, and even now. And also she's famous for her political attitude because she didn't accept that Putin thinks she's one of the first one who immigrated. So she lived awfully comfortably in Russia and everything, but she just left everything and went in Europe and then Israel. Yeah. So she just was one of the, after the war started, so she's the first one who left Russia. Okay, кто это? Next one. Кто это? Пушкин. Okay, and кто он? Это Пушкин. Okay. And what do you know about him? Who is he? Writer?
Poet.
Poet. Yeah, famous poet, right? He's a big name in Russia, like I told you, because, everything is named after him, right? So, Square Pushkin, Institute after Pushkin, and this one after Pushkin, and everything, he's a big name, like Shakespeare in England, Pushkin in Russia, right? He did a lot. Okay, and next one. Кто это? Okay, David? Это Khrushchev. What do you know about him?
Secretary General before Gorbachev.
He was one of the leader in the Soviet Union, but what he is well known for? You know? Yeah, but what he is known for? Yeah, he was one of the secretary, one of the presidents. What he is well known for? Anybody know? Anybody know the Russian history? Okay, anybody heard about the Stalin time? Dictators, there's a lot of people who were in camp, labor concentration camp, and it was a horrible time. So he came after him in 1954, well, shortly after Stalin died, and it was considered to be like one of their best. It wasn't really good time, but compared with the Stalin, it was the resurrection. It was a warm time. A lot of things was published. A lot of prisoners, political prisoners, were out of their prison and free. So the Western tourists even started to come. All of this, so it was a little bit release. They even called that time salt time. Salt, like something melting. Salt, right? Thaw time or something like that. Yeah. In Russia, I don't know how to convey it in English. So he was well known for that. And of course, he is well known in the United States, like he, went in assembly of the United Nations with the shoes, making all this show like a Trump style show. He's also well known for that. Okay, кто это? Next one. Can you see this is? Это Уланова. И кто она? Who is she? Ballerina, right. What's ballerina? Ballet dancer. Famous ballet dancer in 60s to 80s. Okay, кто это? Next couple more.
Терешкова.
Валентина Терешкова. И кто она? Who is she? Космонавт. Okay? Космонавт. So the first woman in space. And, right? You see in the helmet she had, what's written in the helmet? SSSR. R. Okay. Okay, and the last one.
Boris.
Uh-huh. Who could read that? Okay, Boris, forget about the patronymic, just last name. Boris? Grebenshchikov. Yeah. Anybody know who is he? Rockstar, right? They say rock звезда, right? Pop звезда, rock звезда, right? Rockstar. Yeah, he's well known for the rock.
What year?
Okay. Huh?
Like around what is he like a contemporary?
He's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still alive. He's about the age of Pugacheva, maybe.
Like he would be like Victor Tsой's age?
No, Tsoi is younger.
Soy younger.
Younger. Actually, since Soyuz died, maybe about, what to think about that? Maybe they're about the same age because this guy's alive and Soy died young. So it seems like he's always younger. Maybe. Yeah, maybe they would be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so what's звезда?
Star.
Star. Okay. Певица. Певица.
Pizza?
Yeah, anybody could figure out from this? Okay, ballerina. Ballet dancer. Okay. Автор. Author. Okay. Президент. President. Роман. Роман «Война и мир». Роман «Братья Карамазовы». No. All right, let's couple more pages and then we'll do something new. Okay. Page 9 and 10. Let's do there a few things. Now it's your turn to read the question and answer. So can you read the question above the pictures and answer? Okay, let's try to do it. You want me to do it and you repeat after me or?
Sure.
Okay. Repeat after me. Кто это?
Кто это? Кто это?
Это американцы. So what does it mean? Кто это?
Who is it?
What about это американцы?
These are Americans?
Americans. Then the question would be, who is this or who are or who is, depending what you're asking, right? Who are those? Это американцы. Кто это? Repeat after me because it's very important intonation of it. Кто это?
Кто это?
Это юристы.
Это юрист.
Can you guess what's юристы? Lawyers. We talk about that юрист. Юристы. Кто это? Это музыканты. Музыканты? What do you think? Музыканты. And кто это? A little bit down. Кто это? Up and down. I know it's a little bit hard to do it in a short sentence, but it's... Кто это? Это отец и сын. What's отец, you think? Father and son. Отец, папа. Отец и папа синонимы. Synonyms. Сын. Alright, turn the page and what's что это means? What is this, right? What is this or what are those or whatever? Okay. Repeat after me. Что это?
Что это?
Это карандаш. So what's карандаш? Что это? Это ручка. What's ручка? Pen. Что это? Это сумка. Вот сумка? Purse or bag, either one is fine. Yeah. Что это? Это рюкзак. And what's a рюкзак? Backpack. And что это? Это ящик. Anybody could guess what's ящик? Yeah, drawer. Unclear. And last one, что это? Это яблоко. So what's яблоко? So как по-английски юрист? Как по-английски отец? Отец? Dad. Ага. Как по-английски яблоко? Apple. Как по-английски карандаш? Как по-английски музыкант? Как по-английски американцы? Americans. Как по-английски сын? Как по-английски плащ?
Raincoat.
Окей. Хорошо. Как по-английски ручка? Как по-английски рюкзак? Как по-английски лампа? Как по-английски сумка?
Bag.
Bag or purse? Окей, хорошо. Да. Both. That's why we don't have that R is and anything. So это would stand for plural or singular. Кто это, and answer could be это, it's singular or plural.
Is it also for things that are nearby and far away? Like this and that?
Yeah, but it's a different, yeah. We'll get into that soon. Okay. I'm going to start before the break. What time is it right now? To talk about a few phonetical rules, and again, some of them extremely important for their okay, let's start with this one, and we'll make a break toward the 8 o'clock because now everybody make a break. They won't get in the bathroom like yesterday. Okay, so this is very, very extremely important things we're going to talk today, and it's new about pronunciation rule. Right? Remember, I told you Russian is very phonetical language, pretty much. Well, occasionally you will have a few things here and there, but you memorize it and look at a couple examples, like real few. Most of them are very phonetical, but we have few, indeed few, phonetical rules how to pronounce certain things, and they're very strict, no exceptions. Okay, so that makes it simple. There's a first thing is about the vowel, and the second one about consonant. Okay, so I'm going to talk about vowel, and one rule about vowel, and a couple of rules about consonant. So the consonant, one of the rules about consonant, extremely important, not only for pronunciation, meaning of the word, but the entire Russian grammar based on that. That's soft and hard, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So we'll start with a little bit easier, let's see, not so crucial concept like the vowels. So vowels, general introduction to the rule, which is quite important too. If it's vowels, only single vowel, like in an alphabet or under the stress, it's very clear. In any languages, it's pronounced prominent, right? Dom. There's no way you make mistake in English, in Russian, and anything, right? Now, when the some vowels, especially or vocalic one, but not only, not under the stress, they tend to be pronounced, actually in many languages. This is not only in Russian. They tend to be pronounced slightly unclear or a little bit different. Again, this is trend almost in any languages except Spanish, maybe. So Spanish is very clearly San Francisco, right? Costco, something like that. So in Russian and in English and many other ones, that tend to be slightly reduced. Okay? So if we see word, for example, let's try San Francisco. This is not a rule. This is just I show you how it works in many languages, including Russian. For example, so in English you pronounce it because you get used to the Spanish one, San Francisco. In Russian, since the stress is here, San Francisco, right? So this is a stress. So it's clearly E, San Francisco. But can you hear how I pronounce it if I don't think about that word? San Francisco, Kostka. What do you hear? Yeah, that's after the stress, we tend to reduce and not pronounce full O. I mean, any other vowels, but O is especially, right? So it tends to be pronounced like something like a schwa. Between O, A, very reduced one. A. Just like in the English, for instance, you say mother. Where is the stress falling? Mother.
First syllable.
First syllable. So ER, not pronounce even two letters. You pronounce mother. You don't say mother, right? You say mother. So in English, you even actually reduce not only vowel, but sometimes whole syllable or several letters, or at least two letters. but definitely vowels. And many other languages, except Spanish. Okay? So in Russia, we tend to reduce vowels after the stress. They're generally a little bit different unless they're under the stress, but before the stress, a little bit clear. After the stress, tend to be more reduced. Okay? Just like in many other languages, actually. There's a tendency exists in many languages. Like San Francisco, Kostka, whatever. And again, depending on the region, you reduce it a little bit toward the A, toward the O, toward the E, but it's very minor differences. Generally just reduce. Okay? So this will be tendency when you, let's get some other example. For example, this one, right? So it's a little bit more clear, mama, but we don't say mama, right? We say mama. So it's but mama, right? Or is a little bit more prominent. All right, now the rule. So we sometimes vocalic vowels is more like or they tend to be more reduced after the stress. Okay, just be aware of that. For example, which one example we have? Oh, okay, яблоко. Яблоко. So where is the stress falling?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you hear in the end? Яблоко. Something like that. But it's spelled with the O, right? Which other one? Что это? Кто это? Right? Even this one, right? Это, right? I say like a schwa, right? And again, depending on the region, people do it a little bit toward or toward their or whatever, but it's really minor. Okay? All right, this is that. So be aware of that. So if you don't hear it, look at the spelling. It tends to be that a lot of actually students who have a Russian spouse or whatever, girlfriend, boyfriend, partners, why he, she, whatever, she knows English better than I am. She's reading all of this one. Why it's always Kostka and San Francisco and what is all this about? She knows how to spell it. I said, well, yeah, there's a rule, then they stop complaining because this is how we hear it. We tend to reduce it very strongly. Okay, okay. So this is not a rule again, this just keep in mind. Now, the rule is about vowels, and it's very, very simple. And it's 100% applies. When the letter or occurred before the syllable, stress immediately. It's always pronounced like a. For example, so we don't say ona, we say ana. How would we pronounce it? But how do we pronounce it? Exactly. Moskva. This one, this one. It's immediately before the stress sound. Okay? Before, not after. We pronounce it like ah. Again, it's also vary a little bit. Some people say strong ah, some people less strong, but it's ah. Clearly ah. Moskva, Ana. Give you more examples. How would you read it?
Aka.
Se? Well, there's no ka. It's only se, right? We don't know.
Aka.
Or this one could be a little reduced, but still, okay? Right? We don't say sobaka, we say sabaka. Right? It's a stress here. It's immediately before the stress. Okay? This is one rule, apply 100%, no exceptions in interpretation. Okay? That's it. So that's all about vowel. Again, keep in mind generally that after the stress, a little bit tend to reduce, sometimes a little bit more than a little bit less, depending on the vowel and depending on the region, but it's still reduced. But the main thing is pre-stress or, only letter O, pronounced like R, in immediate pre-stressed position. That's it about vowels. Any questions about this? See, for example, about here. Okay, how do you say father?
Papa.
Okay, Papa, what our other word? So how do you pronounce it? Отец. You don't say отец. Отец.
What does it mean again?
Понятно? Папа, отец, синонимы. Like father, daddy. Okay, what other one we have? Okay, Tolstoy. See how it's spelled? Tolstoy. And how do I pronounce it? What do you hear? Tolstoy. Chocolate. How many letters we have, vowels we have over there? Yeah, 3 O, right? And this stresses and, 2 O and 3 vowels and stress in the last syllable, right? So we say chocolat. So pre-stress clearly are, not pre-stress slightly reduced, right? Kind of like chocolat, but it's not or, full or, right? Chocolat. Dostoevsky, right? Same thing. Kalantai. All of this word. Trombone. Remember? Saxophone. You hear it all? All of these things.
Oh, like yesterday we said голоса.
Exactly. That's what answering your question. You remember yesterday. Голоса, etc. Голос, and you keep in mind that голос singular. It's under the stress, singular. Голос, right? Голос, right? But if you put plural, stresses shifting and breathe голоса. It's a different pronunciation, right? Yes. So this rule is so strict that when you're shifting the stress, when you do that one, it immediately became a. No exceptions. Professor. Right? That's one. So which one pronounced like a? Exactly, professor. And what do you hear here? Professor. Something like that. Whatever. So this is and this is like this. Professor.
Yes.
Right. Well, this is a rule. This is just a trend to be because it can depend on the region. And tend to be there. Фотоаппарат, photograph. It's all with the O spelling, right? Космонавт. Diplomat. What do you hear after L? Diplomat. But it's O spelling, right? Космонавт. O, but we pronounce like A. Kosmonaut. Any questions about that? Yes. No, it's like in English. Last time we talked about that. That it's the stress is not fixed like in Spanish or French. It's like in English, fallen first syllable, last syllable in the middle, and sometimes in some form it's even shifting, but not all the time. Presume it's not. once in a while it will change. All right, so this one I'll indicate where you could read about that at home if you want. It's on a page somewhere here. All reduction. Well, I'll write it in, I think in the page 13, right? So that's what they do. All right, the second rule, well, not the second part, it's about constant. Okay, nothing to do with that. Anybody have any questions about this one? Practice one more with it. Second one, 2 rules about consonant. They're not related, they're completely separate. Want to do the break right now or? Yeah, okay, so at 8 o'clock we'll start and then that will be really extremely important. What I'm going to talk about. Again, not only about the